just another sequel in the series. It's a significant milestone as it marks the directorial debut of Patrick Wilson, a familiar face from the previous installments. So buckle up as we embark on this thrilling journey. Insidious. The Red Door resumes the narrative 9 years after the spine-chilling events of Insidious. Chapter 2. We find our protagonists, Josh and Dalton Lambert, portrayed by the talented Patrick Wilson and Ty Simpkins, with no recollection of the terrifying incidents that occurred nearly a decade ago. However, following a family tragedy, their forgotten past begins to haunt them, leading them on a quest for truth that promises to keep you on the edge of your seat. One of the most striking aspects of Insidious, The Red Door, is how it diverges from the previous installments in terms of its overall feel. Wilson's directorial approach brings a fresh aesthetic and mood to the franchise. While the film maintains the lingering sense of dread that has become synonymous with the series, it also ventures into uncharted territory by exploring family drama and introducing new relationships. For instance, the bond between Dalton and his new college friend Chris, played by Sinclair Daniel, adds a new layer to the narrative. However, not all these new elements hit the bullseye. Some subplots, such as Dalton and Chris's conflict with a frat guy named Nick, feel more at home in a college comedy than a horror movie. Despite these occasional missteps, Wilson shows promise as a filmmaker, delivering effective scares and creating moments that will have you clenching your armrests in anticipation. The screenplay, penned by the rising genre scribe Scott Teems, occasionally struggles to balance all the story elements. While it attempts to create fan service moments that allude to previous installments, it doesn't fully commit to exploring the world of the further in a new light. Despite this, Wilson's direction helps the film stand out, proving that he has a firm grasp on what works about the franchise while also telling a story that feels personal and resonates with the audience. Insidious. The Red Door takes a step back from the jump scares that the franchise is known for, but it finds other ways to send chills down your spine. One sequence, in particular, involving Josh sitting in his car, texting Dalton, oblivious to the eerie happenings behind him, is particularly unsettling. The film concludes more with a whimper than a bang, but it still feels like a satisfying conclusion to the story, largely due to the compelling journey of the Lambert family. In conclusion, Insidious. The Red Door might not be the most terrifying installment in the franchise, but it feels a lot more human than the others before it. The character moments end up feeling more effective than some of the film's big set pieces. While that may not sit well with some genre purists, those who have been with the franchise since the first film will likely find it a gratifying experience. So if you're a fan of the series, or just for a horror film with a touch of heart, Insidious. The Red Door is now playing in theaters. Don't miss out on this unique blend of horror and humanity. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the performances. Patrick Wilson, reprising his role as Josh Lambert and also taking on the director's chair, delivers a solid performance. His portrayal of a man haunted by his past, struggling with his present, and uncertain about his future is truly commendable. Ty Simpkins, as Dalton, does a decent job too, although his character could have been fleshed out a bit more. Rose Byrne, who plays Rick, doesn't have as much screen time as in the previous films, but her presence is always a welcome addition. Her portrayal of a woman trying to move on from her haunted past, yet being pulled back into it, both poignant. The film also introduces characters like Sinclair Daniels' Chris, who adds fresh dynamic to the narrative. However, some characters, like Chaim Abbas's strict art professor, feel underutilized and given more depth. In terms of scares, Insidious, The Red Door may not have the same level of scares as the previous film, but compensates with a more psychological approach to horror. It's the kind of film that creeps up on you, with the horror lurking in the shadows and the corners of your mind. The film's conclusion may not be as explosive as some might expect, but it provides a sense of closure to the Lambert family story. It's a testament to the film's focus on character development and narrative depth, rather than relying solely on shock value. Overall, Insidious, The Red Door is a worthy addition to the franchise. It may not be the scariest but it's certainly one of the most human. It's a film that understands that horror isn't just about the monsters under the bed or the ghosts in the attic. It's also about the demons within us, the past that haunts us, and the fear of the unknown. So if you're a fan of the series, or just looking for a horror film with a touch of heart, Insidious: The Red Door is now playing in theaters. Don't miss